When this Raptor hatched over 13 years ago, it changed the truck landscape forever and spurred an entire niche of high-performance, wide-stance off-road trucks that have only gotten crazier with time. Problem is, over that same period of time, I don't think this one's ever been cleaned. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, the vehicle I'll be working on today is a 2010 Ford Raptor SVT that is absolutely filthy inside and out, and after 270,000 kilometers, it's time to make it look new again, so stay tuned. Alright guys, well, as I get to work with the pressure washer here, I'm sure there's a few of you out there who are sad to see this happen because you think a truck like this looks better when it's dirty, and while I definitely see that side of things, I'm firmly in the vehicles look better when they're clean camp, so I'm going to very much enjoy getting this Raptor cleaned up and looking its best today. Starting on the tailgate now, and to give you a little bit of background on the truck, it's got 270,000 kilometers on it, or about 167,000 miles, but the craziest thing is that this isn't the only Raptor the owner has. Believe it or not, but he actually owns 4 Raptors, with the other 3 being newer than this one. Yeah, I know, I was blown away hearing that too, and I had to ask if he had one of them that he dedicated to go off-roading with and getting filthy, thinking maybe the others were pavement princesses, but it sounds like they all get used hard out on his farm. So clearly, he's doing something right to have 4 Raptors. Moving up to the front end where all the dead bugs are, and you can see a few of the things that made the Raptor different from the F-150, with one of those being the giant Ford scrawled across the grille, and of course the front skid plate, bumper, and hood were all different as well. And in terms of the engine in here, it's a 5.4 liter V8 producing 320 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. Now to deal with the huge pile of bug gut remnants still on this Raptor, I'll use my bug remover and spray it on all the leading edges of the truck, and then let that sit for a few minutes so it can dissolve the bug guts. And if any of you out there struggle with bugs on your vehicle, well, consider picking up a bottle as it works incredibly well. You can find it at detailgeekautocare.com. Well, just when you least expected, here's Mike showing up to give me a hand today. And if you're wondering where he's been lately, well, he said he's been busy playing 007 GoldenEye and some Pikmin game on his Nintendo Switch. Yeah, sometimes I feel like it's better just not to ask questions. Okay, well, it's time to tackle this absolutely filthy interior, and obviously before I can really get to work, I have to remove all the owner's tools and personal items. So with those out and set aside, I'll then quickly get the front seats removed, and here's what I'll be dealing with today. A pile of dirt, old French fries, dog hair, a bunch of dead maggots, and some rockets. Should be fun. Now as I work my way around this mid-grade carpet with the vacuum, I can't help but compare this Raptor to my own, my beloved Ruby, and there's definitely some interesting distinctions. Obviously Ruby, being a 2019 model, has a lot more technology in it, significantly upgraded suspension, and far more aggressive styling, but this Raptor does have one thing up on Ruby, and that's the carpet. It's much nicer in this 2010 version than what Ruby has. Moving up to the driver's footwell, where there's almost more debris visible than carpet. And for those of you who don't know, the SVT name that adorns this Raptor stands for Special Vehicle Team, which was a special division at Ford where their mission was to create high-performance vehicles in limited quantities for enthusiasts, and they did that for vehicles like the Cobra, Lightning, and a few others. And while SVT is no more, their legacy does live on in the Ford Performance Division, which was created in 2014 when SVT and Ford Racing joined forces. Okay, well, with the vacuuming done now, I'll get some of my carpet cleaner sprayed on the carpet here and get to work on extracting the decade worth of dirt that's embedded and whatever else was spilled down in between the seat and the console. And if you guys happen to be like me and love Raptors, then I'm happy to say that there's a couple videos of my own Raptor on the channel for your enjoyment, including one where I took it out to play in the mud, so be sure to check those out. Alright, well, the driver's footwell will be the last section of carpet today, and this is as good a time as any to give you the rest of the background I've got on this Raptor. So when the owner picked it up, he was telling me that this was the very first Raptor to ever hit the streets in Canada back in 2010, as he actually went down to Colorado to pick one up that was reserved for him. And what's even cooler is that it's one of the very first few Raptors that ever rolled off the assembly line. So there's a bit of history in this truck, but what really makes this a special detail for me today is the fact that the owner has an autistic child who also happens to have a service dog, So that's where the dog hair came from. But anyways, the kid loves going for rides in the Raptor, so being able to make sure the truck is nice and clean for him now means a lot. Here's the full bucket of sludge water pulled from the Raptor today. That's incredibly gross. Alright, well, just like last week's insane disaster, which if you haven't seen yet, you should, as it's one detail you'll never forget, I'm going ahead and using my all-purpose cleaner and the seamer to obliterate the caked on dirt on this door, especially in all the crevices. And for those of you who have asked why I wear my respirator when I'm steaming, well, it's simply because when the APC is vaporized, it's not something you should be breathing in, so it's for my own safety. Moving to these gross cup holders, and it's times like this when I'm very thankful they were removable, as it's so much quicker and easier to clean these outside the truck. And if you've watched my videos for a while now, you'd know that there really isn't any amount of grime or sludge that the seamer and APC can't get removed from cup holders, storage bin inserts, or any interior plastic trim, so it doesn't take long and these are looking brand new again. Now, since these fabric inserts are still a little bit dirty, I'm going ahead and repeating the whole process here, paying extra attention to them to make sure they're perfectly clean, and when you see the before and after, you'll really see how dirty they were. Okay, well, to really make the paint pop on this Raptor, I'm using my ceramic spray coating, which is going to boost the depth and gloss and leave the paint super hydrophobic and slick. You can find this on my website at detailgeekautocare.com, and it really is the next best thing to a full-fledged ceramic coating, which can certainly be cost prohibitive, so be sure to give it a look if you're interested.
All right, guys, well, 11 hours later, and the colossal disaster that was this Raptor has been completely undone, and it's looking spectacular now. And there's no question that this is the best looking out of the Owner's 4 Raptors now. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Enjoy the guitar outro, and I'll see you guys in the next one.